In this video, I would like to show you how to improve the new patient show rate in your office. One of the most frustrating things as a chiropractor, and especially as your team members in your office, is to have a day booked with many new patients. Let's say you have 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 new patients during that day, and you've blocked off that time and reserved that examination room and maybe the x-ray room. The time that you spent for those new patients is all arranged, and then you have half of them not show up. What a frustrating thing. It slows everybody down. And it not only that, it backs up all those people that wanted to come in or have an urgency to come in, and you've wasted that time. So we're going to talk about strategies to make sure that we nurture those new patients, they get good reminders, we build trust with them, and we create a relationship before they come into the office, not to mention pre-qualify them so they have an idea of why they're coming and what they're coming to. So we're going to talk about this. So first thing is, the goal of getting new patients. Obviously, new patients come from a lot of different sources. They might come from referrals, they might come from in-office events or promotions, maybe a patient appreciation day. Maybe it's an inside talk you've done in your office, and you've had a bunch of guests come in with other new patients or other practice members, and they want to become patients. Or maybe you've gone and done a talk or a lunch and learn at a company or a support group out in the community. You've had a community dinner, patient appreciation dinner, or you're doing some online marketing through Facebook or Instagram or Google, and you're attracting these leads. So obviously, those patients get booked on the calendar. You reserve the time for them. So many of them, for whatever reason, might not have the urgency to come in, especially for online marketing patients. And we're going to talk about things that we do with our clients to teach their team and to work with their team to really strategize and make sure that we're creating that relationship so that we increase that new patient show rate. In fact, we want to eliminate no-shows altogether. So we'd like to have 100% new patient show rate. So we're going to talk about those strategies. Okay, so the first thing is that for many of you that do any type of marketing, you may have a marketing agency that's collecting leads for you, and maybe that marketing agency sends automated messages, or perhaps you're using some software like Sched or ReviewWave that sends automated reminder text messages and emails to those patients. So that's the first thing that we can do. So once they're scheduled on the calendar, we want to make sure that they get the proper reminder sequence. So we have automated text or email reminders. And that way it takes the onus off of our team to constantly give reminder calls. Now, what I would say is that don't 100% rely on just text message and email reminders. It's really important to make a human connection in that new patient nurture process. So text and email reminders are important. But I would even say to have a team member dedicated as a new patient liaison or a new patient advocate, if you will, that person has the responsibility of making contact with those new patients, making sure that they're fully aware of exactly what's going to happen, so there's no concerns. Maybe you have new patient paperwork that they're going to send them. They're going to create that relationship before they come in. So we like to have a dedicated team member, and that dedicated team member is going to make sure that they make contact, some sort of verbal contact, not just voicemails, but some sort of verbal contact with that new patient. So dedicated team member. And if you don't have enough team members to do that, or you're too busy internally to do that, we can always get a virtual CA. And a virtual CA is somebody that might work outside of your office, and maybe they only work an hour a day, but their responsibility is to call the leads. And so they would act as a chiropractic assistant that works for your office or works with your office, but they work remotely. So they would nurture those leads. They would give them all the information they need. They're very well scripted. They could tell them things like where to park, or they could tell them what to expect or how long it's going to take, or making, maybe even you want to take payment from. We're going to talk about that, taking a prepayment, but that virtual CA could do that. They could kind of pre-frame what's going to happen, or maybe even what's going to happen after that new patient appointment as well, just to remove any fears or uncertainty of that new patient so they feel at ease and feel more confident when they're coming in. So we could have a virtual CA. So the next thing that we could do is that, and I mentioned this already, is you want to send an online form. Now, if you're not sending an online form before that new patient comes in, it's a really good idea. Not only does it save you time, because then the new patient doesn't have to fill out the forms after they get to your office, but they can actually do it, and it should be something as easy as they can click on a link and fill it out on their phone. Everybody's got a cell phone at this time. So you fill it out on their phone and they can submit it and it goes right back to you. Now, if you're sending out paperwork in a PDF format, attached to an email, and they have to print it off and then fill it out and then scan it and send it back to you. That doesn't work. So if you're using that, I would say don't even continue using that. It's just a waste of time. Most people are not going to do that. And you're probably finding if you're doing that, then most people are not filling it out anyway. So something as simple as an online form that they click a link and they can do on their phone. If you don't have one of those, you can contact us. We'll be happy to set something up for that. That's relatively easy and that's something you can use. So an online digital form, digital form. And that is really useful. And then the other thing is that that dedicated team member, whether it's somebody in your office or a virtual CA, or maybe it's even one of the doctors, is responsible for looking at that form beforehand. Many offices will actually call the patient, say, I've received the form, and sometimes can actually do a history over the phone. And by doing that, again, you're creating more rapport. The patient feels understood, and then the chances of them showing up are a lot more because they've already created a relationship with the doctor they're going to see. So an online form is good, and that is given to the doctor so they can do that remote telephone new patient intake or consultation over the phone, which is a great tool as well. So again, really good strategy. So the next thing that we can do to help out our clients or help those new patients get in is we actually will do a voicemail drop. And this is something really cool. Uh, Many marketing teams will do this for you, but we do this for our clients, is that we'll actually have a pre-recorded voicemail. And it can be one of your CAs that would pre-record a scripted message basically saying, hey, this is Dr. Collins' office. We're so excited to see you today. You do have an appointment later today. Please let us know if there's any reason you can't make that appointment. When you come to the office, just park on the side and enter into the front door, and you'll meet so and so at the front desk. So it can be a voicemail. And what happens is the voicemail sent to their phone. The phone does not ring, but they'll just get a notification that they have a voicemail. Then they can listen to that voicemail. And it's a reminder, but it's a voice reminder. So we can either record one of the CAs doing it, or we can use text to speech software, which sounds incredibly human, type out exactly what we want, and that voicemail drop can be sent to that person. So voicemail drop, again, is a great way to build trust and make sure that you're going to get better show rates. Okay, so the next thing after the voicemail drop, the next thing would be this, and this is a really, really great strategy, is that we would send them a welcome video. Now, this is interesting because a lot of times when offices will send a video, they send it on a link to a landing page. And what that means is that the person has to click on the link, go through the landing page, play the video on the landing page. Many people don't do that. The follow through rate is very, very low. But here's the strategy is that the welcome video can be pre-recorded from the doctor. It's edited very nicely, and we can talk about exactly what their expectation is. Like, hey, I'm Dr. Colin. I'm looking forward to seeing you. When you come to the office, this is exactly what we're going to do. First of all, you would park on the east side of the building, come in through the front door. Our front desk team is going to give you a tour of the office. When I meet you, we're going to do a consultation. We're going to find out exactly what's the main concern and how's that affecting your life. We're going to do a complete exam, and we'll more than likely do some x-rays if necessary. And then we'll talk about exactly what the problem areas are, and we'll set time up for your next visit. So you're pre-framing exactly what happens during that video. A couple of reasons. Again, it gives some certainty to the patient. It pre-frames exactly what's going to happen that day. And also it's another touch point. It's a relationship. So they actually get to see you and hear you in that video. That video gets embedded in a link, and that link is sent through a text message. So that now the chances of them actually receiving that text message and clicking on the link to see the video are a lot higher. If you're trying to send them to a landing page where they watch a video of you, that again, the follow through rate is very low. But this way, the patients get that video, they click on the link right from that text message, and you get much, much better follow through. So we're going to send that welcome video. And what we do for our clients is that we script out the video, and they would just film the raw footage of it. We edit it. We add, B-rolls and pictures and make it look very professional. We can put background music to it. And again, we can put captions along the bottom of the video. So it looks very, very professional, something that your office can be very proud of. And that'll get sent to every new patient that's coming into your office. So if you'd like something like that, again, there's a link below. If you'd like to click and find out more about that, you can set up a time to talk to me, and I'd be happy to explain to you exactly how it all works. Okay, and then the last thing, many of our clients are doing this, and this will totally eliminate any type of no-shows of new patients. And the last thing is actually getting prepays. So prepays are probably the best thing that you can do to increase your show rate or eliminate no-shows, prepays for those new patient appointments. Well, how do you do that? Because many people, don't want to do that. Well, again, remember, this is a nurture process. So it's not as if you're calling a cold lead who just came in from an ad and say, hey, pay us $50 or $45 or $75 or whatever your new patient special is. You nurture them. And we have a dedicated script for that team member that's going to call them to basically say that, hey, Dr. Colin has arranged this time for you. This is a very special offer. Our normal fee for this appointment is X number of dollars, might be $200. And your fee for today is only going to be $49. To reserve your spot, I'd like to take a credit card, or we can take payment right now. How would you like to do that? So you can take a credit card number. Some offices will just take a credit card number and tell the patient, we're not going to bill your credit card number unless there's a no-show. And other offices will go ahead and just take payment right there. You can do it through an e-transfer, or we can actually set up a payment link that you can send to that person via text or via email that they can open up and do it securely, so they're not giving you a credit card number over the phone. So that way, again, it just builds trust. But patients that prepay are going to show up. And in fact, our clients that do that typically get 100% show rates. And even the people that have prepaid that need to cancel, they're going to call and cancel, or they're going to reschedule. If they prepaid, you're not going to get no shows. So that's another great way to put into your plan, to put into that whole nurture system to get those patients to show up. So I hope that's helpful. And if you start putting in these strategies, you train your team of the importance of creating that relationship from the first touch point where that lead shows interest in coming into your office, no matter where they came from, referral, screening, dinner, event, talk, lunch and learn, or online marketing. The more touch points you can have between that time and the time they show up, you're building trust, you're creating urgency, and you're going to increase your show rates. I'm Dr. Colin. If you need to talk about this or you'd like to set up some time to talk to me, there's a link below. You can set up a call. Look forward to hearing from you.